Alright guys, Jake here, and I'm going to take a little time today to show you a water filter that may save your life, literally. We all think, or a lot of people out there think, that because they have went and bought this Berkey or Alexa Pure or Life Straw, or some magic plastic shake bag, of course the pills, pool shock. There are 100 different ways that people try and tell you to clean your water. Now, clean comes in several different forms, okay? You get filtered water and you get sanitized water, and they are not one and the same. So do not think that they are ever created equal, and take the precautions. But today's video and information are for the people out there that have spent money and are hoping on this filter system to clean their water. This may actually save you, alright? Because if you have one of those filter systems, and we have many different types, but most of them use a charcoal based micro ceramic filter, and all of the advertisements are great. All of the sales pitches, this thing will do 50,000 gallons, this thing will do 5,000 gallons, this thing will, it will filter the entire Pacific Ocean. The problem with that, guys, and I come from an industrial filtration background, is the quality of water to which you are putting into your water filter. And obviously, dirtier water is going to clog that filter more rapidly. So it is a very good idea to pre-filter any water that you are going to run through your personal in-home cooking, drinking water filtration device. Alright? Because a lot of people that use these are using them from their tap water in their home, alright, whether it be city or well, and it is a fairly clean water source. So when you start using this Berkey or Alexa Pure or whatever, I don't necessarily represent any of them, alright, and I ain't going to point you to one or the other. But when you take this system off of your supply, your normal supply, and what you actually may be taking in, whether it be from the pond or from a rain catch gutter system or a tank that you have stored, whatever it may be, the debris concentration in that water is probably going to be drastically higher than what you're getting out of your faucet that you're now filling your Berkey up with, or whatever it is that you're using. So I'm going to show you today how to make a pre-filter, which will work very well for you to use to collect the water off of this pre-filter and put into your personal filtration system. I'll try and not take up a lot of time. It's very simple, very affordable, very easy to make. Anyone can do it, and I think it's really going to save you, because those guys that say it'll do 5,000 gallons, alright, the water they're using is very clean, and that same 5,000 gallon filter may only do 5 gallons if you're gathering water from the pond. So run it through a filter like this, guys. I'm going to show you how to make it, and I guarantee the success and longevity of your personal filter is going to improve. Let's do it. Okay, for this device, pre-filter, it's pretty much going to be all natural, guys. Made in China, no electricity, no battery, no nothing. Just a little bit of effort here, and probably 20-30 bucks is going to save you. Now, what I've got here is a piece of 4-inch PVC. I've bought a fitting that will glue onto this. It has a screw cap removable fitting. 50 pounds of play sand. 50 pounds of gravel, pea gravel. You can see the size of it in there, about the size of your fingernail. Alright, fairly small gravel. Again, pea gravel type stuff. And a bag of pure charcoal. You don't want any quick start, long burn, none of that kind of stuff. Just all natural. If you can get it, hardwood charcoal is better. You can make your own. You can dig your own gravel. You can find your own sand. So the only thing you might have to buy are the PVC fittings. But 30 bucks right here. And let me show you what we're gonna do. Okay guys, we got our cap here. And this is actually gonna be the bottom of our filter. And you want this removable cap on there because you may want to change this media out at some point. So being able to unscrew this cap off of the bottom of your pipe is going to make it a lot easier. We need to drill some holes in this so that the water can flow through it. This is not a storage container. You want the water to flow through the filter. Alright, I got a 5/16 bit here. So just drill 4 or 5 holes in the top of the lid. Alright. And the water will drain down through that lid. You need to clean it out, unscrew this, all the media will come out. Easy. Go ahead and drill you a couple of holes in the end of this thing so that you can hang it. Alright, glue your fitting in the pipe. Don't take a whole lot because it's not under pressure or anything. But you don't want it leaking, so seal it up good. Always twist your PVC when you stick it together just a little bit. Alright, now the holes we drilled a while ago, we're going to make a little handle. And just a plain old wire. Don't need to be real big, but make sure that you can bend it back out of the way so that you can feel. We're going to loop it a couple of times just to give it some strength. Gonna hang it by that and move it back out of the way to fill it up with media, which is what we're going to do now. Okay guys, out of the bag of charcoal there are going to be large pieces and small pieces. Alright, your ideal piece for this kind of filter is going to be about 1 inch. Okay, as big as your thumbnail. Smaller stuff. Alright, if it's too big, just get a hammer and break it down. Alright, but about 1 inch, and you want to fill your filter about 1/3 of the way full with this charcoal. All right. Okay guys, I hung the filter off of the pole here. It gives me enough room down there at the bottom to put a bucket to collect, and it's high enough that I can reach up there and pour water in. All right, so let's put in our charcoal. Now we're going to add some sand. And the last thing, the gravel. Alright, now let's get some water, and I'll give you a couple more tips. This, guys, is a perfect example why you need a filter like this, okay? Just because you live out in the country and go spend a bunch of money and have a well drilled does not mean everything is fine and dandy, alright? This is one of the wells on our property, and you can see how cloudy that water is. And this is a 500-foot deep well into the aquifer. All right, it's good water. That's basically clay or sand. We're having the well guy come out this week, and we're going to put some, again, rock down into the bottom of it to filter out the sand. The water is fine to drink, but just the cloudiness of it and the sandiness of it will stop up your filter. So, you know, in a very bad situation, if we needed to filter this water, or any water that you may have, this pre-filter I'm showing you is going to be the way to go. You want to run it through that thing first. And I would tell you to go ahead and run 5 or 10 gallons, probably 10 or 15 gallons through the filter before you actually start filtering. Because the filter itself needs to settle, and then it will begin to collect the debris in your water. All right, let's take this over there and pour it in there. Okay, we'll try and do a comparison here. I don't know how good it's going to go, but I know the water's kind of hard to see in that bucket, but that gives you an idea how cloudy it is. All right, and it's totally safe to drink. We've had it tested and everything. It is just sand, clay coming up from the well, but it's great water. It's just dirty. You wouldn't want to run this through your Berkey or your Alexa Pure, because it is going to stop it up within 100 or so gallons. So run it through this filter right here, guys. Let's put the water in it. Again, I'm going to put it in and let it just drain through a couple of times before we try and collect a new sample. And again, I know there's over spillage on the pipe and all that kind of stuff, and you're going to say I'm contaminating my water, all that kind of good stuff. On your final pour, after everything is cleaned and run down, had a chance to sit, you'll want to be a lot more careful putting your water in the top here. You can make a fitting, funnel, many different things, all right, to ease that water going through your filter. Ideally, you could have a bucket up here dripping into this long term, all right, so it's working when you're not. I'm just trying to get it set up and show you the basics. Hey guys, there's our dirty water, so you don't think I'm putting in clean water, but just running the 5 gallons through it, letting that water clean out the filter, basically letting the sediment settle in there somewhat. And after I run that 5 gallons through, we'll put a clean bucket under there, and we'll run a second 5 gallon bucket through. Same water, so I would consider that this the free pass, and then the first bucket will be the first pass, and we'll take a water sample and see how it goes. This thing is much like a fire, guys. Again, why I stress community to you, because it's going to take more than one person to do all this stuff. Now you can set a bucket up here on the top with a dripper system, like I said, that is dripping into this pipe. Gravity flow to clean your water, just like the big expensive filters, all right? But this is just a pre-filter, guys. All right, it is not going to make your water sanitized and good to drink. I mean, unless you know that the water going in is good before, and then this again is just a pre-filter to clean it up. So we'll show you. It's a decent little flow dripping out of there, but it is time consuming, and you can see there it's already looking cleaner. So let me let this drip through there. I'll feed it through there slowly, and then we'll take our first sample. Okay guys, water's dripping out down there, and I'll be honest with you, I've only ran half of that original 5 gallon bucket through there, and I can just tell by looking at it that it's a lot cleaner. So I'm going to go ahead and put our second bucket under there, start collecting it, and run that two gallons through the filter and see what our result is. But shit hits the fan, guys, and you need this water. Take the time and run that full bucket through it first, okay? I'm just trying to save time here because I got things to do today, all right? Again, clean bucket. And we're going to start collecting that water. You can see it's coming in there at a pretty good stream, but water collection, purification, and cleanliness is going to be a very big important priority on your list, guys. And I know a lot of you think you got water stored up, I got a water well, blah blah blah. You better be having multiple alternatives when it comes to water, because water is pretty much the second most important thing right after your protection, because if you can't protect it, all this water and food and everything ain't gonna help you. Alright, so we're gonna let this drip through there, run a couple of gallons. I'll add some more from our dirty bucket over here, alright, to give us enough that we can run back through the filter. Okay, while we're filling and waiting for the water to drip, I want to talk to you about a couple of other filters and the importance of sanitization. If you have never had a bad case of bad water, I can assure you right now, guys, the water situation is going to kill you long before the food situation. And not only possibly you, but everybody else, okay? And when you get a hold of some bad water, it is going to make your water situation 100 times worse. And I know when you get thirsty, you're going to drink whatever water is available. A mud puddle, a pothole, out of the ditch, whatever. Not all of us are fortunate enough to live where there's supposed fresh, clean running water coming through your yard. And again, wells that are drilled are only so good, guys. The rainwater is only so good. You need to be very careful with the rainwater that you are collecting, because it is going to be full of heavy metals. We all see them spraying in the sky. There's probably a ton of stuff that we don't see them spraying at night. The rainwater you need to be very careful on, and it needs to be super filtered as well. Alright, so the water, guys, is going to be very important in getting it clean. Filtered water is not sanitized. All kinds of doodads and gadgets out there for sanitizing your water. But when the shit really hits the fan, guys, and water becomes important to you, please boil that water for 10 minutes if you intend on drinking or cooking with it. And bathing water would be really good, because if you take a shower or a bath, chances are you're going to get some of it in your mouth or on cuts or something like that. And we can just never be too careful of what is going to be in the water, especially surface water, lakes, ponds, streams. When this all goes down, guys, the grid goes down, electric goes off, these sewage pump stations, chemical plants, the list is very long of people that are going to be dumping effluent into the surface water. Alright, and if you're drinking that surface water out of a lake or something, you better be very careful. But this is another top filter that we use, that I'm going to use on our gutter rain collection system that y'all have seen. We've been working on. I've got it about 90% complete. But any way that you gather your water is going to be labor intensive. So everything that you can do to help that process along is going to help. And this is known as a sock filter. We used them in the industrial chemical water areas of a company I used to work for. And you can get these in all different micron sizes, all different sizes. This happens to be a 7-inch filter, I believe 32 inches long. And this one is rated at 150 microns. So if you keep your gutters clean on your house, this is going to be part of my gutter catch system. And this would work almost as good as the filter that we just built over there. But this one will wear out. Alright, so having something natural to go back to is a good idea. But basically I'm going to design, if y'all haven't seen my gutter system, go back a couple of videos. I'm going to design the gutter outlet before it goes into my tank to run through this filter. Now this is made for a pressurized system, so it will take a lot of pressure and hold a lot of weight. But if your main gutter entrance downspout is going through this filter, you're at least going to get a 150 micron filtration before it goes into your tank. Now there are other things that you can make, and I'm probably going to make one of those, but this sock filter is a very easy, long term, it will last a long time if you take care of it, keep it clean, empty the leaves and stuff out of it. Again, 150 micron is not real small. It's not going to make the water purified for you to drink, but it will clean up debris out of your gutters. Okay, this is just one of the filters that we're going to use. Again, guys, boil that water, and it just didn't mean boil it. That's a rolling boil for 10 minutes, and that will should make it good to drink for you, except for the chemicals. And again, that's where you want to get into that Berkey and the Pure and get the filters that filter out the chemicals and the arsenic and all that kind of stuff. The point being, you don't want to try and survive with having to put these metal alloy or pool chlorine or something like that in your water to drink. In an emergency, dire situation, yes. But your body is not made for those chemicals, guys, and that's what we're trying to get away from, is all of that big pharma industrial stuff, alright, for us to live. And all of these are going to be gravity fed, easy to use, simple, everything from your life straw to your Pure, whatever, guys. You need to pre-filter that water. Alright. Okay, I've ran a few gallons through it, so we're going to stick a jar under it and do a little comparison here. Again, guys, I would run 10 gallons through it first and then start collecting the water. Well, let's just see how clean a few gallons works. So, clean jar here. We'll let it collect a little bit. Clean water, guys, it's going to be very important. If you haven't taken steps to obtain clean water, just sit down and think for a minute, how far are you going to have to travel carrying one of those buckets full of water to get water back to your house? How far are you going to have to walk for surface water? I know a lot of you got water wells, but this is water well, a good 500-foot deep water well. All kinds of things going on, the droughts, earthquakes, all that stuff makes a difference on water tables, guys. And just because you got water now, it's no guarantee. We're paying some other ways to collect water, whether it be a hand dug well, hand pump well, rainwater catchment, surface water. Find water near you. And remember, everybody else is going to be using that water as well. Get some of our bucket here. And you can see the difference just in that one pass, guys. Alright, and after 10 gallons goes through that filter, this is going to clear up a lot better. Okay, if my shirt's helping or not. Okay, that's just one pass. I guarantee you, after you run a couple of buckets of water through that filter, it's going to clear up substantially, probably almost crystal clear. Alright, I may try and keep up with it today and get a glass full at the end of the day to show you. But this pre-filter right here, some kind of pre-filter, is going to save your expensive $80, $100 carbon filters that you're putting in your expensive water filter on your cabinet, because not all water is created the same. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe out there.